I thought that's what you and I need to do for a few moments tonight. We need to get the glass of imagination, put it up to the door of possibility, and eavesdrop on this conversation that Christ begins to have with these particular criminals. As the cosmic curtain opens tonight, there's a conversation that is being communicated. And evidently, according to the homiletical hint of this particular passage, nowhere do you see that there's any evidence that that conversation was audible, that it was being heard by the pedestrians or by the individuals that were surrounding the cross or those that were on the ground. It is interesting at this particular point that one of the synoptic gospels writers suggests, I believe it was Mark, who suggests that Jesus was crucified with two criminals, one to the left and the other to the right. But it's John that gives me a term tonight that just resonates with me. John says tonight that Jesus was in the midst. Oh, that's enough tonight for me to close my Bible and hang my hat homiletically right there. Because it don't take me to chase rabbits tonight for you to know that Jesus is in the midst. If you haven't figured that out tonight, you ought to figure it out by now that none of us can live a life without Jesus being the nucleus, the centrality of our human experience. Because if you want to know as a believer, should you be in and a part of something, what you need to first of all do is take an evaluation and a spiritual assessment and determine whether or not Jesus is in it. Because if you are in anything that Jesus is not in, then you ought to want to get yourself out of it. If you're in a church that Jesus ain't in, you want to get out of it. If you're in a business that Jesus ain't in, you ought to get out of it. If you're in a relationship that Jesus ain't in, you want to get out of it. If you ain't anything that Jesus ain't in, you want to get out of it. Why did you say that, Pastor Kinloch? Because the safest place in the whole wide world is smack dab in the will of God.